Hello, welcome back to Truthseekerstea. My name is Kate and I want to thank you for being here for today's pick a card reading. We're going to be looking at what it is that you are meant to hear right now. So I'm going to leave it completely open to your spirit team to come through and let us know what is most important for you to hear, what you're meant to know. So there will be an extended reading where we're going to be looking at what you need to hear about your love life. So for those of you that are looking for something more focused on that, that will be in the extended if you do find that your pile resonates with you. So for pile number 1, we have the Pastel Journey Tarot with the blue calcite palm stone. For pile number 2, we have the Tripin Waite tarot deck with the rose quartz crystal. And for pile number 3, we have the Prism Tarot with the selenite heart. So go ahead and take whatever time you need to tap into what pile you're feeling most drawn to. You may have more than one message, or you may find that different messages resonate for you at different times. So it's always useful to comment down below on what pile you picked and the date, and so then you can always come back and get more use out of tarot readings. I just recently started doing that myself, so I feel like you guys might enjoy that tip. Other than that, I will have the timestamps linked down below, along with the extended reading links and any other information about the decks that you guys might need to know. Trying to think if there's anything else. Any of my information is also down below, and without further ado, I'm very excited to get into your reading, so I will see you at your pile. Hello, pile number 1, welcome to your reading. If you chose the Pastel Journey Tarot and the blue calcite palm stone, this is going to be your reading where we're looking at a message that you are meant to hear right now. So I did pre-pull some oracle cards that I'll be using throughout the reading, and also the energy check-in will essentially be you guys tuning into whether or not this sounds like the guidance I'm giving or what I'm saying is relevant to your situation. So I'm gonna leave that up to you guys. And there also will be an extended reading linked down below where if you do feel like this is definitely your pile, we're gonna be tapping more focus into your love life and what message you're meant to hear about your love life from your spirit guides. So I just want to let you guys know. But we're gonna start off with some tarot and see what message you are meant to hear right now. Please have me into pile number 1's energy. What message is pile number 1 meant to hear? We have the 9 of Cups. We have the Knight of Pentacles. We have the Queen of Cups with the 4 of Cups. We have Strength and the 8 of Wands. We have the 2 of Cups. And the 10 of Swords. Also the Page of Wands at the back of the deck. Okay, so pile number 1. I feel like a main message that's coming through, and I just want to let you guys know that we actually got the Lion as an oracle card, so I'm just going to take it out since we have Strength here, but I'm seeing that your spirit guides want you to know that you guys have a regality to you and a strength that other people may not respect, or they may not give you the recognition that you deserve. And so you may sometimes like doubt your self, or your self-esteem may be influenced by other people, because there's a strong energy coming through of someone that's very loyal, very strong, but also you care a lot about other people, and so it makes you susceptible to their emotional states or their problems. And so I feel like you guys may sometimes internalize other people's baggage or other people's mentalities or their negativity even, because I'm just seeing that there's this very lighthearted energy about you guys, and you guys wanting the best for the people in your relationships, and being also very just stable and loyal essentially. And I'm just seeing here that with the Four of Cups, it could be that there's been some kind of with the Ten of Swords really and the Four of Cups, it may be that someone has done something to you, or a situation has betrayed you, or it has not honored you, is what I'm getting. And I feel like this is something that subconsciously and semi-consciously does really bother you. And I feel like it's blocking you from being completely in tune with what you're capable of receiving in life and what you can go after, and sort of reaching your full potential. So it feels like there's like a splinter in your body somewhere. So it feels like something happened maybe in your past that hurt you or didn't honor you, and it's perhaps a dynamic that hasn't been addressed, or something that has gone unaddressed, because I feel like you guys would want to brush it off of your shoulder. But I feel like Spirit is wanting to remind you that even though it isn't your energy or your fault of other people doing that, it is still something that could impact you and could impact your happiness and your self-confidence and your drive in life. And so I feel like Spirit's saying, there may be a stagnant situation, and with the Two of Cups here, very much could be a relationship, where with the Knight of Pentacles, it may just be something that's been long-standing, or something that is getting stagnant. It feels like there's a stagnant situation in your life, and your spirit guides are really wanting you to garner the inner courage and the momentum to push more towards what you want, and to not settle for something that isn't really emotionally fulfilling for you, and to also be open to walking down a new path if the one that you have been on. And so this could be in regards to like a work situation, a friend group, a romantic relationship, anything like that. There's something here that you may feel like you have to stay in it or push forward or something, but Spirit's saying that you're strong enough to admit to yourself that it isn't emotionally fulfilling, and that a new start or walking down a new path makes more sense than staying in a situation that has like jaded you on some level. So I'm going to pull out the other oracle cards. So we have vinegar here. We also have gossip. And so in the light attribute, it says awakens considerations for the feelings of others, honoring trust. And then shadow attributes thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information, betraying confidences. We also have orphaned here. We have 9, and we have the dragon's lair. So I might just put these to the side because I do want to dig more into the tarot, but I just want to use these to supplement the reading now. Okay, so with these oracle cards, and with the Four of Cups and the Ten of Swords here, and vinegar, this card talks about there being something from your past, some sort of sour taste left in your mouth from a certain situation that's actually important to pay attention to, because there's a reason why like this, you can't let go of a certain thing, or there's something that just is bothering you about something. So yeah, it feels like there's something that hasn't sat right with you in regards to your past. And I feel like because you may underestimate yourself or underestimate the importance of being respected and having people be loyal to you and things of that nature, and like because you may sometimes with the Queen of Cups here be overly focused on other people's emotional state or catering to their emotional state, you may be neglecting yourself through not seeing a situation for what it is, or not addressing the pain that it's caused or the dissatisfaction it's caused, because it feels like it's, if anything, leading to stagnancy and a lack of fulfillment the longer it goes unaddressed. And so with the Orphan card here, this card for me just talks about this feeling of not belonging or being afraid of being an outsider or being left out. And I feel like Spirit is telling you, you have the power to get through whatever this is. So if people are leaving you out, or people are gossiping about you, or there's some like nasty people around you, and the Dragon's Lair card reminds you that there could be danger present, or there could be something that is not working in your best interest, or something that is not meant for you to just internalize. Like, I feel like there's something you might be just internalizing that may have to do with someone else's behavior towards you. And it may even cause you to doubt that you could have better, or you may just be so loyal that you just want to stay put and stay for the long haul. But your spirit guides want you to recognize whatever from the past bothered you about the situation and not just push it under the rug, essentially. So I'm going to get some more tarot and go a little bit deeper. Why is the Nine of Cups here? We have the Knight of Swords. Yeah, Spirit and your spirit guides are really wanting you to get more clear and assertive about what it is that you want and what it is that is emotionally fulfilling for you, without being concerned about if it's fulfilling for other people or how it's going to affect other people emotionally. It's important to know how strong you are and know that you can handle any challenge that would come up, essentially. So why is the Two of Cups here? What is this? We have the Ten of Pentacles. Why is the Knight of Pentacles here? We have Temperance and the Three of Swords. Yeah, I feel like someone has hurt you, or someone's betrayed you, or a situation has betrayed you. But with the Two of Cups here, it does make me feel like it could be someone that you thought was going to be in your life for a long time. Or it could be someone from your family or from an institution. It could have to do with work. But I'm seeing here that it's almost, I'm seeing you stomach the poor behavior of other people, but the truth is that there is a heartbreak here. And I feel like with Temperance, you may just not want to make a big deal about it, or you don't want to be seen as like crazy or imbalanced, but I feel like you're overly undermining the importance of you processing what happened and expressing yourself and making decisions based on the truth of some kind of betrayal or heartbreak or being disregarded. Or it feels like you guys have been, it may just be so difficult to stomach, because with the 9 card here, this card talks about being so dedicated to other people that you almost forget that you deserve good treatment too, or you deserve to get what you want and to go after it. And it's not selfish to do that. There's such a message here of it's not selfish to acknowledge that you're not happy in something, or to acknowledge that something's hurt you. And I feel like there's just a need to know that you treat others with such a high standard and you are such a high quality person that it truly is an imbalance if other people are not mirroring that back to you and showing you that. And Spirit's warning you to not stay in the same place if this is how you're feeling, or to not make a move towards something else. Spirit's saying you're strong enough and you are deserving of being very forward and going towards what you want with no second guessing or no sense of guilt for that. There's a reason why you feel the way you do, and I feel like it comes from how dedicated you are to situations and how loyal you are with like this Lion card. And there's just an energy here of you maybe not wanting to look like you're hurt by something, or not wanting to let other people know about how something affected you, and you almost just brushing it off your shoulder and just wanting to seem okay, but when that isn't really the truth. And it may be because you thought that a certain person was different, or you thought a certain situation was going to turn out differently. And because you're so loyal and dedicated to it, it's hard to see that it has hurt you or that it has been unfulfilling. With the Ten of Swords here, that can talk about betrayal. So why is the Ten of Swords here? We have the Chariot and the High Priestess. Or it could even be a self-betrayal with the Ten of Swords. I feel like Spirit's saying that there's a situation that is intuitively, is meant to end, rather than with the Chariot. The Chariot talks about just trying to stay balanced and overcoming any obstacles that may come up, and essentially being so dedicated to your path. And I'm not surprised to see the Chariot here, because there's an energy of you telling yourself, like, yes, it's hurt me, and yes, I don't feel emotionally satisfied, but I don't really want to try another path because I feel dedicated to this one, and I don't want to give up. Like, I don't want to be a failure. I don't want to let people down. But Spirit's saying that this is a situation where the Ten of Swords is a moment of surrender, and Spirit's saying you can't keep going forward without acknowledging this vinegar energy. This energy that there is something that's gone sour, something that has hurt you, something that is not stable. And Spirit's really saying with the Eight of Wands that you have the power in you to shift out of this and move towards what you want. And you have options available to you as well with the Four of Cups. And it feels like something that you're holding on to, and maybe not because there's pain to process behind it, maybe closing you off from other situations that would really serve you and be really satisfying for you, is what I'm getting. All right, let's get some more oracle cards for you. And sometimes we have to be brave when it comes to really claiming what we want. And sometimes it's scary to admit we want something, because then we have to see what's not in alignment with that, and we have to take risks and move towards that. But with the Knight of Swords, there's this energy of there's a need for action. There is a need for movement, not stagnancy, and not ignoring any underlying feelings. What overall advice do we have from this deck, please, Spirit? It says, I forgive myself for thinking I need proof I've chosen correctly before I'm allowed to enjoy what I have. I choose to believe that what is happening now is precisely what should be happening. Plus, I align with my deepest desires when I allow myself to enjoy what is already mine. We have, I forgive myself for pressuring myself to understand more than I'm meant to at the present moment. I choose to believe that there are things that are never meant to be in my hands and are instead being divinely guided. It says, I forgive myself for creating a rigid version of myself that is unnatural to me, or pressure to embody a rigid version of myself that's unnatural. I choose to believe that I'm a multidimensional being that cannot be fully defined as I'm reconfiguring and expanding in every moment. And this one, I'm feeling there's a pressure to show up in some kind of way that I feel like you think is like you have to, or else you won't be accepted. And I feel like with the Genius here, like you may just be very hard on yourself, or the Control Seeker, you may be very hard on yourself for not knowing the plan forward. Or it could be that because there's ambiguity in this, or you have to rely on your intuition or your feelings, it could be that you're doubting what a better path could look like. Or you might be like, who am I to think that I should move in another direction? And it may even be that if you don't know exactly what you would do if you weren't invested in whatever you're currently invested in, it may be that you think it would be stupid, or it would look stupid to take that risk, is what I'm seeing. But Spirit's saying that that is not to let there be ambiguity in this situation, to allow yourself to consider a different outcome than maybe what you initially anticipated, and to try to open up to more flexibility for how something, like whatever's resonating with you in the situation, for how something could turn out. And with Temperance being here too, it's like, and the Knight of Pentacles can be very rigid and stuck in their position. And I feel like with the Temperance, it's like taking what's happening for what it is, and understanding that no matter what experience you're having, it can be used for alchemy and it can be used to serve you. And even if it doesn't look like the best thing that's happening, or if it looks contradictory to what would be best for your growth, Spirit's asking you to trust that. Yeah, Spirit is asking you to trust that everything that you're experiencing, even if it's confusing, is meant to not be disregarded in order for a newer, more flexible situation to come about. Because it maybe feels like you may even be very focused on one path, and very dedicated to one path, and it may be wanting to fit into something. And Spirit's saying that you may be putting a lot of your self-esteem on reaching this ending or reaching this success, when Spirit's asking you to allow for more shifts and to allow for the information you're receiving about your situation to, even if it confuses you or if it's not what you expected, to still let it sit with it for a second, essentially. It says, I forgive myself for judging the experience of emotions I'd rather not have be mine. I choose to believe that when I honor each and every one of my emotional expressions, I discover a deeper wisdom not accessible through reason alone. Yeah, so I guess I'm seeing here, there's a lot about, even if something, you don't know how something would end up, or like, let's say that there's some information coming in that someone isn't being loyal to you, or there are actually like bad intentions for you in a certain situation. But like, let's say you are so dedicated to like reaching some sort of success at the end of the road with this. And so it may be that it's because it doesn't make sense to you, or it's just not fitting into your logic. You may want to ignore your intuition about it, or kind of turn a blind eye. And it's like, you don't want to walk down a new path too. It's like, you don't really want to shift your course, but Spirit's asking you to be a little bit more open in regards to being more open to the potential that a certain dynamic isn't going to be the linear path that you imagined it might be, and to not think that it's a bad thing to be emotionally hurt by that. And so I feel like it's important to just accept ourselves and to open up to the emotions that that's bringing out in us, and understand we're not wrong for having them, and they don't mean anything other than that's how we feel about it. And it's just data and information, emotions. And if you are feeling like something isn't satisfying, but your logical mind is like, no, this is what is going to make me happy, this is what, that it has to be this, that could cause a lot of pain for you, because it's the head versus the heart. And so I feel like sometimes you're having a hard time with your intellect and your heart syncing up. And so I feel like sometimes your inner feminine is telling you that they want you to take certain actions, or that they want protection for something, but your masculine may be overriding what your inner feminine is telling you, and saying like, no, this is what's going to bring me the most happiness in life, even though you're internally knowing something different and there is something that's bothering you. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing for you guys. Hopefully this has been helpful in pointing a pattern out to you. I hope that this has given you information that you needed to hear. Let me know down below if it did. We're going to be moving to the extended reading now. We're going to be looking at what you need to know in regards to your love life. So if you do really feel like this is your pile and you want to focus more in on your love life, I'll have that link down below. We'll be getting advice for you, along with anything your spirit guides want you to hear. So that is where I'm going to leave this. If you guys have an extra second to hit the like button, to leave a comment, I really appreciate that. And if you want to see more love and guidance readings, definitely subscribe so you can see the videos come up on your subscription page. So thank you guys so much for being here, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. We are going to be looking at what it is that you need to hear right now at this moment. So I'm going to leave it very open and just intuitively channel your message from your spirit guides and your higher self and hear whatever it is that's most important for you to know. So you guys chose the Tripin Waite tarot deck with the rose quartz crystal. So I am going to put the tarot to the side right now. I did just pull some oracle cards for you guys, so I want to start with those. So we have the number 6, the number 2, we have inside looking out, we have Phoenix and Pluto. I don't know why I said it like there's another thing to list, but this is what I pulled for you guys so far. So some general themes that are coming through, just to get them out right off the bat, is somewhat of an energy check-in. Of course, tarot will give us more details, but I'm seeing for this group that you guys are people that I think find a lot of your value and even security in your relationships. And so because of that, I feel like you guys may even have an overactive heart chakra. And then sometimes when it comes to your solar plexus, which is where our self-confidence and selfhood is, and down to our root chakra, which is what is correlated with this Phoenix card, sometimes if those are underdeveloped, then we may over-rely on our impact on others or what we provide others, how we our involvement with others is very crucial to a lot of other things. So I'm seeing that this is maybe a way that you've operated throughout your life, but I am seeing we also have the ungrateful daughter and earthly mother at the back of the deck. And so this is making me feel like there may be certain connections that are being that you're getting space from, or that there just could be sort of a general feeling of isolation right now that's causing a lot of triggers and causing a lot of fears to come up. And Spirit is saying that this is very much happening for a purpose, and it's meant to provide you more balance and to help you purge and bring to the surface fears that you may have around being alone or around negative judgment from others or not having someone to provide that sense of security. And it feels like this is a time period where you're meant to go into your shadow and go into your fears around this, so you can finally let go of certain blockages that you have in like your lower chakras in order to alchemize them and rise still the kind of person that is very relationship focused and has a really big heart. But there's more balance in regards to being able to stand on your own 2 feet and being able to not be dependent on others for those certain things. So then you're always overgiving. And with the ungrateful daughter and earthly mother, you may have experienced a lot of relationships in your life where you're the giver, and you guys may tolerate a lot of behavior, or certain people in your past, maybe a lot of the relationship was catered towards them and less catered towards your own needs. And so I'm seeing that on purpose right now, there's meant to be somewhat of an isolation, so you are able to bring up those triggers and alchemize them and then engage in more balanced relationships. And so you can be more selfish in your relationships and make sure that the relationships around you serve you as much as you serve them. And Pluto also has to do with death as well. So it just feels like you're in this era of a lot of transformation, but it definitely, with Pluto as well, this talks about the underworld, and it can be a scary place, and it can also be a place that we all don't really want to go. But there's always a promise when it comes to like meeting your dark side and going through your shadows, that they'll no longer control you, and then you can be rebirthed into a much brighter era. And so your message right now is that if you feel very shut out or hopeless, or you're just like, I don't know when things are going to get better, or why is this happening to me, or what did I do wrong? There must be something wrong with me to be in this circumstance. I feel like Spirit's saying it's very intentional, and this era is built for your soul's growth. We're going to go into tarot now. And by the way, the extended reading, which I'll have linked down below, will be looking at what you need to hear right now about your love life. So if you are interested in getting more specific messages about your love life, I will be filming that right after this. So if you want to support the channel or you're interested, I'd love for you guys to check out the link down below in the description box. Anyways, let's get in. What message is pile number 2 meant to hear right now? Yeah, we have the 9 of Swords here and the 10 of Swords. And you guys may be struggling right now with mental health, especially due to unexpected changes or being thrown out of your comfort zone, or maybe there is certain endings to certain connections with the 10 of Swords being here, or even betrayals, or it doesn't have to be that for everyone, but it feels like your energy right now is definitely at a lower point. And so it's important to know that, because just know it does, of course, get better. And this is a energy that a lot of people find themselves in. I think everyone finds themselves in this energy at some point in life. But yeah, I'll keep going and we'll get more of the message. What does pile number 2 need to hear right now? We have Judgment in reverse. Yeah, I'm hearing right now that the purpose of whatever you're going through right now is definitely not to punish you or to rev up any sort of fears that you have. It's really meant for you to surface your fears and dig deeper into them, because with Judgment here, the Judgment card talks about how there's an opportunity at the end of every cycle, and it feels like you've finished a cycle with the 10 of Swords with the 9 and the 10. It feels like you're at a moment right now where the best place for you to be is kind of in your own comfort zone or your own cocoon. So I feel like if you're spending a lot of time alone or just needing to recuperate, that's very much by design. And Spirit's saying this time period is really built for you to be able to reflect on your feelings about this situation, or about whatever's causing this anxiety, and reflect on the past and asking yourself, what am I meant to learn through this, and focusing on what you don't want to repeat or what you would want to be different, and then asking yourself, what beliefs, what actions have I taken, what thoughts have contributed to this stress, or what is it that I need to focus on or potentially shift to create a different reality than the one that ended up playing out in this situation. And the purpose of this, it's so strong with the Phoenix, because the Phoenix, it's really interesting that it's correlated with the root chakra. So for you guys right now, there's a lot of inner work that is needing to be done on your sense of security, and asking yourself how potentially not feeling secure or not feeling safe, honestly, like on your own in some capacity, may contribute to involvement in situations that are imbalanced, or involvement in situations that don't really serve you, but it's because of our fear. We can think it's better to be in that than to be alone. And so I feel like this is an era where you're meant to be somewhat isolated so you can come to your own truth and your own conclusion about the reason behind your feelings and thoughts and actions, and the same for the people around you. And it's almost like a time to step back and find acceptance in the situation, understand that it will only get better. But the way we get better is through reflecting on our cycles and doing that shadow work and really looking at what we want to be different next time around. So you're being encouraged to do that, especially rather than in trying to work as much as you can. It's easier said than done. Rather than like ruminating on what happened, try to go one step deeper and go with a slight level of detachment. You can do this through meditation or speaking with a therapist or journaling. Like what's beyond the fear and what's the root of the fear. So there could be a fear like everyone thinks this about me and I'm just horrified imagining like what they might be saying. This is just an example about this situation. I feel like so out of the know. And so we could keep thinking more about what they could be saying, or you could go, why is that such a fear for me? And then one layer deeper would go, wow, I'm just noticing. And it doesn't even mean you have to change it right away. It's just a practice of observing where it's coming from. And so it could be like, wow, this is such a fear for me because I'm terrified of losing people's opinions of me, because that's something that literally makes me feel safe in this world. And so I may have this fear that if people don't approve of me or they speak badly about me, that's an actual threat to my survival. And then we can kind of rework those and start telling ourselves new things and say, this is an opportunity for me to build more to shift more importance for how I feel about myself and how I feel about the other person, for example, and understanding that, and it's going to be different for everyone, but I'm just saying that you can kind of shift your thinking if you're able to sit with the fear and ask, why is this a fear for me? And how has this fear led me to places that, how has this fear led me to the pain that I'm feeling right now? Because, and not ignoring the pain, because the pain's a reality, but I feel like there's a need to realize, okay, the reason why this hurts so much is because I have this belief. And so in order to heal, I need to look at this belief that I have. Yeah, we have the Six of Swords, which is talking about, again, Spirit's really asking for you to, it's just a confirmation of them saying, instead of internalizing your fears and ruminating or staying stuck, it's really important to ask yourself, what can bring me to a calmer water? The Six of Swords is all about transition and moving away from a difficult situation and getting space from it. I'm hearing right now is like the most important thing that you can do, and anything you can focus right now towards healing and not necessarily just focusing on the not letting there be, because I'm seeing right now where we often just go in a cycle where it's like we feel anxious, and so then we think something that makes us anxious, and then we feel more anxious than we think. And so I feel like Spirit's wanting you to know that you're, number one, also you're already on your way out. I feel like you need to hear that although this may have been really difficult, what you've gone through recently or in the recent whatever time period it is for you, Spirit's really saying there's nothing that you can't handle. And there's nothing that can't be improved through accountability and being willing to look at the truth of our experience versus the beliefs and feelings we had that were not rooted in the truth. And Spirit's saying that there's a lot of irrational fears or fears that are not rooted in truth that are causing more pain and suffering in the situation. And Spirit's saying that you are actually already on your way to a better reality, but it will be helpful if you can trust that from this point on, this whole journey is just about, it's not about like rubbing your face in the dirt. Like the universe isn't going to do that. It's about learning from the experience. And it may feel isolating for a second. We have the Knight of Cups here. What does pile number 2 need to hear? We have Temperance in reverse as well. Then we have the Seven of Wands at the back of the deck in the reverse position. Yes. Okay, I'm going to get a sip of water. So I'm really seeing here that there could be other people involved, or there could be a lot of fear around not thinking that you and yourself and your experience of what pain you're going through is valid in itself, and not believing that it warrants a defensive position. But with the Seven of Wands, this is all about being in an energy where we're very confident in our values, we're confident in our choices, and even if we've made mistakes, we still stand by our experience and the reason behind why we made those mistakes, and we don't let anyone make us feel like shame. And so I feel like there's an energy here of maybe feeling shame or something like that for your experience right now, and maybe just wishing that you were in a better stance with certain people, or we're in a more social energy or something like that, or we're with a community right now. But I'm seeing that what this era is really about is you learning to stand your ground, and learning that your viewpoint and your experience is just as valid as anyone else's, and there's no need to I'm actually going to speak in a more of what Spirit's wanting to push you towards. They're wanting to show you that with the Queen of Swords here, this is all about your discernment and being able to see the truth of a situation, and to trust in your own judgment, and to say it like it is, and to speak up, and to not be afraid. Spirit's saying this is what you're meant to learn through this experience. And I'm really getting that with the Three of Wands in reverse. It's like there may have been codependent situations or a lack of trust in self. And Spirit's saying that it's no longer helpful for your soul to be involved in these scenarios, and it's now time for you to learn how to balance yourself, because you have the power to do that. And also with Temperance in reverse, this is a card that talks about alchemy, and it talks about understanding how, this is what I was saying earlier, but I want to reiterate it because it's coming out. So Spirit's saying that anytime we mess up or something happens that hurts us, all these different things, or we have regrets, right, about a situation, we're dealing with something that's tough, and it may be leaving us really imbalanced or in an energy that's more lower vibrational. The worst thing we can do for ourselves is to not even be willing to face ourselves, or to look at our feelings, and to not be able to give ourselves that space, because there's no experience. And what I'm trying to explain this, I want to make sure it's clear, but it's giving me the Ouroboros concept, where when it comes to alchemy, there's nothing that's better than another thing, and every single material, and what I mean by material, every experience, every thought, every emotion, no matter how negative it seems, or how uncontrollable or fixed it feels, that is actually oftentimes the very ingredient we need to create something new. And we can use our experiences to build something new, but we have to be present in the process, and we have to understand that the goal here is bringing balance to your experience, and taking what you've gone through and asking yourself what you can do with this. How can I balance this out? How can I better next time? How can I strike a better balance between my higher self and my lower self? So how can I strike a better balance between myself and other? And Temperance is all about balance. And so I feel like there are lessons here around balance. And with this ending, I feel like there's this opportunity to emerge from it with more skills under your belt, and also a stronger sense of self and a stronger sense of discernment. And I feel like there's going to be a future version of yourself that is so thankful for this, and knows that this is the very conditions that were needed in order for you to grow. And I do see you growing, and I do see you seeing the purpose of this, even as painful as it might seem. So I want to see the Knight of Cups here. Why is the Knight of Cups here? Yeah, okay, so I feel like what Spirit is saying is to be careful of any illusions around, basically what Spirit is trying to say, there could have been a part of what made this situation unfold, could have been you maybe having rose-tinted glasses or really moving with your heart and less with logic. And it could have been that you put like a lot of energy into something that you didn't, that ended up being a painful situation. And I feel like Spirit's saying that a part of your lesson is going to be about the discernment that you learn in regards to what you should invest your time into, what you should be patient for, what you should keep nourishing, and what you should just leave behind because you've seen enough negative signs, essentially. And I feel like Spirit's saying it can lead to imbalance when we continue to pursue something with a dreamy, idolized version of the truth, because we have the moon here too at the back of the deck showing up. Yeah. And so Spirit's saying to be cautious about coping with the pain that you may be experiencing by wanting to kind of daydream or see an illusion that isn't there, because I feel like that's the very energy that maybe Spirit is wanting you to look at. And so Spirit's message to you essentially is they know that what you're going through is not the most comfortable experience, but it is something that you are going to be reborn through. This is a death, this is an ending, and you will come out the other side different. You will come out the other side understanding why you had to go through this. And the best thing you can do for yourself right now is to try to avoiding what's happened and avoiding the truth of it, and try to lean into asking yourself, how could things be different next time? What would I have done differently? What do I wish I saw differently? What would I do if the same thing happened again? And ask yourself, what would I do? And take those skills with you where you move, as you move forward. Because I feel like this is a moment for you to define your values and to define your individuality, really, and your boundaries and your needs. I feel like this is all about you right now. And it may be difficult because, again, you're coming through as someone who's found a lot of confidence and comfort and security, I think, in your relationships. But this is on purpose a difficult dynamic going on or environment for you because you're meant to grow through the ashes of this. So kind of understanding, allowing it to burn and understand that there is a purpose for it. And yeah, that's really what I'm seeing for you guys. Oh, sorry, I just hit the microphone. But now we're going to go into the extended, where we're going to be looking at what you need to know about your love life, any messages that are really important for you to hear right now. So I'll have that link down below if you felt like this definitely was your pile, or if you just want to support the channel. I do really appreciate it, so thank you. And if you guys do have an extra second, I'd really appreciate if you're able to hit the like button and you found value from it. If you guys want to leave a comment, I do really appreciate reading them and getting that feedback. It's really helpful. And if you guys want to see more love and guidance readings, definitely subscribe. I would love to have you guys so you guys can see the future videos that are coming out from this channel. So I am thankful to have been able to read for you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the Prism Tarot and the Selenite Heart, then this is going to be your pile. We're going to be looking at what message you need to hear right now. So what are you meant to hear at this time? What is the universe's message for you? We're going to start off with tarot, and then we will pull some additional oracle cards. Spirit, please have me in pile number 3. What do they need to hear right now? We have the 2 of Pentacles. We have the 4 of Wands. We have the Ace of Pentacles. We have the Master of Clouds, which is the King of Swords. We have Death and the Ten of Swords. And we also have the Master of Lightning, which is the King of Wands. And then at the back of the deck, we have the Oracle of Gems, which is the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. So I feel like this group is going through a time period where you may have experienced an ending to a certain situation. It could be a relationship, a job, a friendship, anything of that sort. With it being the Four of Wands, it could have been something to do with your community or the people that are part of your foundation. There's a feeling here that you may be in a time period where you've already had to go through shadow and go through a certain situation, really bringing out difficult circumstances is what I'm getting, but I'm seeing that through this experience, you've actually gained a lot of wisdom with the King of Clouds here. And so it feels like Spirit's telling you that things are turning around for you right now. So if you've been feeling discouraged, or if you've been wondering like when you're going to get a break, or why this had to happen, or what's kind of next almost, Spirit's telling you that the experience that you've gone through, which may have been difficult in your recent past, was meant to give you more insight and clarity and information about what you want to prioritize in your life and what matters to you and what resonates with you. And so I feel like Spirit's saying that this experience you've gone through was meant to help you redirect yourself. And they're saying you're now in an optimum time period to go down a new path, or to reinvent your vision and establish where you want your energy to be. And so they're saying that what you've been through has given you the wisdom you need to now move forward in a more conscious and intentional way, is what I'm seeing. Yeah, and then we have the Nine of Cups underneath. So I'm seeing it's like, yeah, I'm seeing that you have the green light right now from Spirit. So if you've been feeling like something failed, or something was blocked, or something didn't turn out the way you expected, you may feel a little bit disoriented, but what I'm seeing is you definitely should not second guess yourself on what insights you've learned, and you should definitely trust yourself around any sort of vision that you have for your life, or vision you have for your future. And to trust that you now have even more potential to make a lot of progress towards some kind of a wish fulfillment, or what truly would be fulfilling for you. So it feels like Spirit wants you to know that this failed experience, or whatever this Ten of Swords was, this ending is over. Like this part of your life it's not going to keep happening like that. It's not going to just repeat. You're coming out of it wiser, essentially, with more understanding of what opportunities in your life are worth prioritizing, and what is not something that you want to revisit, or is not something that truly has value to you. So I'm just going to get some more clarifiers. So if we clarify the Two of Pentacles, please, for what pile number 3 needs to hear right now. We have the Emperor of in reverse, and then we also have the Six of Cups also. Yeah, so I'm seeing here that with the Two of Wands in reverse as well, I feel like you guys may feel a little bit stumped right now about your future, or what this all means to you, or you may have even lost a sense of faith in yourself, or a faith in how in control you are of your life and the outcomes. And I feel like with the Six of Cups here, there may be, I feel like you've been working through a lot of heavy emotions, or you've been forced to kind of see the darker parts of something that you may have been comfortably in. Because with the Six of Cups here, for me, that can talk about this nostalgic feeling, or this feeling of almost wanting to go to the past. But I'm seeing that this past energy that you've been pulled away from, you weren't your most empowered in that energy or in that phase. And so this next phase is very much about you being more in control and more in the driver's seat of your life, and where you want to move it towards. And there's a message here of the way that things turned out in this last experience was not a representation of your ability to be confident in your life path or be confident in the moves you make. It's that you actually have the wisdom now, and there may still be some residual disappointment or pain or confusion, but Spirit wants you to know that it's serving you, and you actually right now have a lot of wisdom, and you have the green light from Spirit to try new things and to invest your energy. It's a potent time. It feels like you guys are at the end of a void time period, where either some of you guys are at the end of a cycle and you guys are still processing you're on the tail end of processing whatever this cycle brought up, whatever this cycle triggered. And you're on to this whole new beginning. And so Spirit's saying, yeah, with let go here, things are changing, but that is definitely for the good. And that is definitely setting you up for a brand new paradigm, or a brand new, timeline. You guys are entering a new timeline right now. And it's almost that in-between time period where you don't know exactly where you're going right now, but Spirit's calling you to trust in your stability that you've brought yourself, or trust that the path you're walking down is no mistake and you're going in the right direction. I don't know if some of you guys need to hear that, especially if you guys have felt a little confused or disheartened by the way certain things ended, or having to move on from certain things can leave us in this energy where we're still kind of processing the loss of that or what that meant to us. But I'm seeing that on the other end of this, you're going to be on a brand new beginning. So Spirit wants you to know you have a brand new opportunity or a brand new beginning coming in that is really going to be in alignment with your soul's path or your dharmic path, your vision for your life. And they just want to tell you that to confirm to you that you very much are on the brink of making more momentum in a direction that's going to make you feel a lot more secure, and like you know that the decisions you're making are the right ones. And Spirit wants to affirm to you that you definitely have grown, and you definitely are more, and with practicality here, it feels like maybe you may have had a Saturn return, or you may have kind of been forced into certain difficult truths, but I'm seeing that this has actually made you more wise and practical, and it's time for you to use that wisdom you've learned to be a catalyst for your next part of your journey. Can we clarify the Four of Wands, please? Yeah, we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. So I feel like Spirit's asking you to willingly release, or to see letting go of what's familiar as progress, and to understand that although this process that you've been going through, or in the recent maybe 2 years or past year, it may feel like you've lost security. It may feel like you've been going backwards, but Spirit's really telling you you've actually been going forwards, and to continue to understand that the more you let go of what's familiar and almost step into an energy that may be intimidating or scary for you, it's going to bring you more results. It's going to bring you more opportunities, more blessings. It's opening up a path for you. And I'm even seeing like it's almost a feeling of, imagine that you were in a boat and you're going down a river and that boat is your security. But if you keep going down that path, it's like going to lead you on a huge tangent, whereas where you want to go is actually you need to get out of the boat and walk through the forest, and there's like a path opening on the forest, but it requires you to trust that getting out of the boat is the best thing you can do. Getting out of your comfort zone, even if it's been familiar to you, even if you thought certain things about it in the past, that you can trust what you've learned through this, and you can trust that you are doing the right thing by letting this all fall apart, so then you can move in a new direction. Why is the King of Swords here? And I'm hearing you're extremely intelligent, and if you are willing to listen to that intellect and kind of balance it with your heart, because I feel like your heart may still feel attached to the past or attached to an old way of being, or maybe having a hard time letting go of an older phase or an older way of being. And I'm seeing, though, that Spirit's really calling you to trust your intellect right now. Trust what you know to be true based on what you've experienced. And even if your emotions sometimes are telling you that it doesn't feel good, or it feels uncomfortable, or it feels confusing, don't let that be your truth, because it's not the truth. It's that this transformation that you're going through is gonna feel that way, but I feel like your wisdom knows that you're in the right direction. So this message just feels like a confirmation of that, and to continue to let the emotions come up that are coming up, and you definitely don't have to deny them, but they aren't meant to be held on to and acted on. It's almost like, if anything, Spirit's calling you to let whatever's a remnant of this to just keep flowing up and out, and to continue on your path, and to keep reminding yourself of why you're doing this, or where you want to go, essentially. Why is the King of Swords here? We have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, and then we also have the Ten of Wands. Yeah, so I'm seeing here that with the Ten of Wands, it feels like the past energy, or whatever you may feel nostalgic about, or whatever your emotions you're still carrying from this, it's like it's a heavy burden that is making it more difficult for you to bury your head down and do what you need to do in regards to your path. It could be career. It kind of feels career. It could even feel like inner work, or whatever you have to do with the Eight of Pentacles, mastering a certain craft, and confidently having the energy to build what you want to build and prioritize what you want to prioritize. Because I'm seeing here, there's something that the more you let go of it, the more energy you free up to actually build and prioritize with more intentionally, essentially. And so you're not wasting time, or you're not going in circles instead of making progress, is what I'm seeing. And so it's like with the Ten of Wands here, it's like there's this really strong energy of being at the end of a cycle, and understanding that the more you let go of the heaviness of that, the easier and easier it's going to be to just make more progress in a direction that feels successful to you. And so Spirit's asking you to trust that the more you kind of let this energy be free, like flow away from you, the more you will start to see results, and the more you'll trust your intellect and your intelligence and your wisdom that you've gained. And the more you can just kind of trust in this direction you're headed in, the better. And the more you can avoid second guessing yourself, or avoid carrying burdens from the past, or keeping up with things like that, or thinking a lot about things from the past, essentially, because we have memories in reverse. It's like sometimes being in that nostalgic energy can prevent us from really putting our energy into the most useful places. And so I'm just seeing right now, Spirit's really calling you to use your willpower to prioritize in your life right now, and to not get sucked away into emotions that almost freeze you, or make you feel like you're going backwards, or you're stuck, or you're not free to move forward. Because Spirit's saying, if you are able to refocus, you're going to see a lot of success, essentially. And you're meant to completely renew yourself right now. What is this Ace of Pentacles? Okay, we have the Seven of Swords, and then we have the Nine of Swords. Okay, so I'm seeing here, it could even be that you're feeling really uncertain about a new opportunity, or with the Seven of Swords, you may not be trusting right now. With scarcity mentality being there, it's like an anxiety, a fear of how things are going to unfold, or not feeling confident that you know where you're going, or not being confident in new beginnings is going to keep you stuck and keep you in a comfort zone. And I feel like you have a lot of fears right now around taking a leap of faith or being optimistic. I feel like a part of you is afraid of a certain cycle repeating, or is afraid that you can't trust new beginnings, or you can't trust a new path. But Spirit's really asking you to see that this could just be your own limited thinking or thought patterns that aren't serving you. And they're telling you that you're smart enough to know now. You have the experience you need to discern. Why is the King of Wands here? We have the Magician. Spirit's saying you are, and then we also have the Novice of Lightning, Exploration. I'm going to keep that. And then Judgment. Yeah, you guys are definitely at the end of a cycle here. Yeah. So Spirit's trying to tell you that you definitely don't need to be afraid that you're constantly going to be in this energy where things are going to just continuously go wrong. Understand that the wheel always turns, and I feel like you're actually about to come up on a Wheel of Fortune uprise, so that may be just relieving for some of you all to hear. But sometimes when we are expecting things to be always really difficult or to not work out, we can actually limit our ability to create, and we can limit our ability to, it can be a self-fulfilling prophecy then. And so Spirit's really wanting you, because with I almost feel like there's a message here of understand that sometimes what's practical is actually trusting in a new direction. And Spirit's really calling you right now to be open to new opportunities, be open to new paths, be open to exploring new things without fear that you're doing something wrong or the past is going to repeat. Spirit's really wanting you to see your power and wanting you to see that it's like I'm hearing you have this in the bag, or you are your own worst enemy right now, and you are your own blockage. Spirit's saying it's not going to come from the external, especially if you could trust coming out of your comfort zone and continue to move and explore in new directions, new opportunities. Understand that it's definitely not going to be something where you're flowing against the river. You're actually being pushed in this direction, and Spirit's saying they're wanting to help you in this, and you're going to be assisted. And if in the past it was the opposite, where you just felt like there was one problem after another and you just feel anxious about that, that only happens when we're going down a path that isn't for us. And so it could have been that there was a path that no longer was serving you, and that's why it got to the point it did. And it feels like it was like divine intervention to have this fall apart, so you could actually begin the work down a new path and actually begin a new beginning, or actually transform your life in some capacity. All right, let me get some oracle cards for you. By the way, we will be doing an extended reading where we're going to be looking at your love life. So if you guys are wanting to hear more specifically about that, I will have it linked down below. We'll be looking at what you need to hear about your love life, guidance about it, anything that Spirit wants you to know. All right, what does pile number 3 need to hear right now? Yeah, we have cornucopia. Spirit's really wanting you to know you have a lot of abundance coming in for you. And to trust in abundance, trust that you're deserving of it, trust that it's out there, trust that don't play things safe out of a scarcity mentality, essentially. That won't serve you, to hold yourself back or stay stagnant right now. It's like you are not chained anymore, and it's time to embrace the new potentials and embrace your power. Yeah, we have Rainbow Bridge. I almost want to read that one because Rainbow Bridge is, you guys are at a threshold right now. I want to read 37. I'm just feeling really called to do that. It says, Rainbow Bridge, taking a step into the unknown can feel like falling. If you move towards what you believe to be right, solutions will appear where you wouldn't expect them. What appears out of nowhere to catch your eager feet can be even more wonderful and magical than you could have imagined. You are so brave for making moves that seem dangerous and unpredictable. I believe in you. So 100% Spirit's saying the risks you take right now, even though they may feel different or uncomfortable, are bringing you to this abundance. And help will be given is really what I'm seeing. You can trust that you're being supported. We have Rainbow Transference, and we also have Gifts the Portal. And so I'm seeing that, yeah, it may be with Gifts the Portal that you maybe have been taking baby steps or you've been doing certain things. And it may be that you haven't really seen the results yet, but Spirit's really telling you that all of this has been happening for a reason, and trust that all the moves you're making are not going unseen or will also not be going unrewarded. So I feel like you guys have been really growing a lot, and this is pushing you towards your destiny and towards you moving in a path that's really in alignment with, when I say your dharma, it's like what your purpose is, like the reason why you incarnated. Or like, for example, your soul, maybe this is just something, is you could have wanted to be, this would maybe be something that I would imagine, but let's say your soul really wanted to help people with emotional dysregulation. So maybe you wanted to be a therapist or a counselor, something like that, but you had been going down this path doing marketing or something. And that marketing path fell away because that wasn't really the reason why you incarnated. And I also want to read you this one. I don't know why I want to read you so many. I just feel like you need to hear it. So it says, Rainbow Transference. You have found the magic connection. You have found the reason that you're not a solitary being on this earth, and that is to share your magic with others. You have found your inner power to make beauty in all forms on this plane of existence. You have the gift of being able to share it with others and also to receive this from others. Since the time we incarnate, it is within us. Our magic, our knowledge, our rainbows. Being able to communicate or show the otherworldly treasures is not as easy as just feeling it or knowing that it's there. You have the power to fully bless others by showering your rainbow light on them, letting them feel the balance of the full spectrum of this lifetime. Each and every color has a purpose, place, and time, and each color is being connected. So there's an experience you've gone through really to activate your purpose, and now it's time to trust that you actually have a lot of wisdom to communicate to others. You have a lot to share now, and so never underestimate your potential influence, and your power is really what I'm seeing, and your value. And we have 2 rainbows here, which are just good signs. Those are signs of hope and abundance. And I just feel like it's like the rainbow after the rain. So if you guys have been going through rain and it's been tough, but you've learned some lessons, and it's actually, I'm seeing it like having shedded it's a shedding of layers that prevented you from really being in this rainbow transference energy, being in this energy of your purpose and creating whatever you want to create. You're stepping into that energy, and just know you're completely going in the right direction, and be open right now to new opportunities, because that's going to lead you down the right path right now. You have the wisdom. Don't doubt it, or don't imagine that something from your past is going to hold you back. What does pile number 3 need to hear? We have Thinker. There's a lot coming through about how much you can trust your judgment or trust your logic. Milk and honey, yes. It's like you have so much abundance coming in. I'm hearing don't overthink it, because the Thinker card can also sometimes indicate overthinking, or kind of going into analysis paralysis of like, how are things going to work out? Or what's the new opportunity going to be? What's this path really going to be? And Spirit's just asking you to know that it's coming, and you don't need to overthink it. You already have the wisdom you need to seize it, so long as you're willing to do it and you don't overthink it. We have fork in the road, message in a bottle, and go the distance. Yeah. So I'm really seeing here, you have decisions coming up. Also imagine at the back of the deck, you have, your path is diverging and Spirit's asking you, and I like that there's like the forest here because that's what I was seeing. Messages in a bottle talks about trusting your intuition, trusting the breadcrumbs Spirit's giving you, and understand that you are equipped to go the distance. You're equipped to find complete success in this life. And just because one path didn't work out, it's just a part of your journey. And the go the distance card talks also about how our journey is always it's not linear. And the more you can lean into seeing that it's not going to be linear, the more easy it's going to be to make progress. And with imagine here, Spirit's saying, do not limit what you think you're capable of or what you think your life could look like, what opportunities could come in. Don't limit it through overthinking it, is what I'm seeing. So that's what I have for you guys, pile number 3. I hope that was helpful for you. We're going to take it into the extended, where we're going to be looking at your love advice and anything else you need to hear right now specifically about your love life. So I'll have that link down below, but I'm going to end this here. If you guys are able to hit the like button, leave a comment. I do really appreciate reading your guys' comments. And if you want to see more loving guidance readings, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos. And I hope to connect with you again sometime soon.